What up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy Cashew, and today we are going to be talking about cartoon shows that should have not been canceled. Hit it. What up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy Cashew, and we're doing another solo episode. I've been having a good time doing these. If you hear me sound a little like my voice sounds a little different, it's because I'm actually sick, but I wanted to make an episode, and I want to give you a couple of updates of what I've been doing. So, like I said, I've been sick for the past maybe 2 to 3 days, so it's been kind of annoying, but I've been actually doing a lot of couple things, pretty cool things. I think if you watch the YouTube today, you have seen probably a YouTube intro with PB and Cashew and, following our stuff. I actually did made that, and I'm also having an outro one. I think it's really cool. I was so excited for that. Another thing I did was update our website, which we have not updated that in a while. And when I mean a while, we have not updated it in a while. I think the last time we updated it was in between 2021 or 2022, and I decided to update it. And if you look at it, I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like the desktop version, when you go on your laptop, it looks a lot better than the mobile version. But if you notice, it seems like our new theme is going to be like, with the color wise, more like a light blue/white, which I'm pretty happy about. It's pretty cool. And we have more things coming along, just trying to figure out some new things, and hopefully, you like it. Hopefully, we can keep giving out more content and keep doing new ideas. But this episode, like I said, we're going to be talking about canceled cartoon shows, which I'm not going to go into detail with a lot of them. I'm going to name a couple of them, which, ones that I actually watched and I really liked that I wish wasn't canceled. And I'm going to start it off. The first one I want to say is like Batman Beyond. I don't, I just don't believe like canceling a show that was really good. It really does suck. And like Batman Beyond was a really good show. It goes with it was about Terry McGinnis, who, figure out who Batman was, who was Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's an old man now, and he took the mantle and he wanted to become Batman, and Bruce is training him, teaching him how to be Batman. And, Terry McGinnis, he's a teenager trying to figure out his life, understand his life. He's having problems and issues while being Batman. And it was a really good show, and I love that show because the reason why I love Batman Beyond is because it shows you the problems, like, that Terry was going through, and you could relate to him because there's some issues, whether if it's a broken home, if I wasn't mistaken, his father wasn't in his life really like that, and it's just, like, it was so cool to me, like, watching that show, just loving it, seeing a different Batman was pretty cool. And also, like, seeing Bruce as an old man and seeing him adapt and seeing him, have more character development. You've seen him at, what's it called? He had more of a, I could say he had more of a soft side, but he also had that same toughness in him. And I don't know. This was just one thing I love about Batman Beyond. Another show I was thinking of is Teen Titans. This one hurts a lot because I love Teen Titans. And I'm talking about Teen Titans in the 2000, I think it came out in 2005. I'm not talking about Teen Titans, I'm talking about Teen Titans. The original Teen Titans. When they said that got canceled, I was so upset. Because one thing about cartoon shows I like, even shows in general, is character development. And when I tell you that Teen Titans has a lot of character development, it was awesome. It made you fall in love with these characters like Starfire and Cyborg and Beast Boy and Raven. It makes you fall in love with, Robin. And sometimes it got you upset with Robin. And I don't know, man. I just feel like that show should have never been canceled. It was such a great show. And just seeing how they're teenagers and they have to deal with issues and they have to figure out how to defeat their main villain, which is Slade, who wasn't dumb. He was always one step ahead of them. Robin always, you see Robin not liking Slade, and you see him always trying to, every time he saw Slade, he will always try to, like, not, he tries to he tries to take the lead, but was not thinking. He just has anger, and it just shows so much development with these guys where they had to learn how to when they had a face later, had to learn how to be a team, and it was just such a great show. And it was just great. You know, it dealt with, like I said, teenagers, it dealt with teenager drama, and I just wish it was not canceled. Like, that's one show. I mean, like I said, most of these shows I'm talking about, I wish wasn't canceled. But if I could give you like maybe one or two shows, that is one show I wish was not canceled. Another show that was canceled, but then they brought it back. I don't know if they canceled it again, but I know they did brought it back. Was Young Justice, another one. You know, I did watch Young Justice. I think it came out in 2010 or 2011. I did watch it when it first came out, and it was at first I didn't like. I was like okay with it. You know, it was actually a good show, but I wasn't like fully into it. Then when I became a little bit older, I think when it came back in 2020, I decided to rewatch it again to see how was it. And when I tell you how it was a great show, and I never noticed it, like there's another show that deals with teens problems, but it's another show that it gets your attention because you know you got a guy named Connor who's Superboy who came out, you know, and he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know his identity. And you have all these like other, you know, young Justice, like all these teenagers trying to figure themselves out and try to become a team. Don't really know who the leader is, and but have to adapt to each other, have to understand each other. And incredible show, great character development, craziness actually, because that show sometimes goes back and forth of who's actually the leader, who's not the leader, what is they actually doing. But it's such a good show that keeps you going into it, and you're just like, wow, you know. And I really like the Young Justice. I really think like, and I like I said, I think it's back now. I don't know if they cancel it again, but I know like the next, like I think season 3 and season 4, they actually were pretty good, and it got a lot better. So I'm hoping that if they keep making Young Justice, that it keeps growing and keep getting better. Another one, Star Wars: The Clone War. Now, here's the thing about Star Wars: The Clone War. I actually never seen it until I think like last year or 2 years ago. Like I never seen it at all. I just never was interested in it until I actually watched it, and I realized it was actually a really good show. And the fact that I think they canceled it, but they did brought it back. But they should, in my opinion, they shouldn't. They gave it a finale, but they shouldn't have canceled it in the first place. But it was such a great show, and then next thing you know, like it took them so many years to bring it back. You know, and you might say, "Oh, but they brought it back." I get it, but what I'm saying is like these shows should have not been canceled at that time. It should have been canceled. They should have just finished the whole thing. But they decided to cancel it, and so it took them like maybe I think it took like what 10 years to bring it back. And when they finished the finale, you're like, okay, that was really good. And what I liked about Star Wars, the Clone Wars, because you could watch the Star Wars movies, and I'll be honest with you, watching the Star Wars movies can be a little complicated. At least Star Wars: The Clone War actually goes through all of them, like everything that went through in the Star Wars movies, but it was like shorter and it had more. You know, it made it more. It made you understand it a little bit more. So Star Wars: The Clone Wars was a great show. Now here's the one show out of all the shows I wish they didn't cancel it and I wish they bring it back. It's Danny Phantom. I am such a huge Danny Phantom fan. That's like my favorite show of all time. Like I'm talking about cartoon shows. It's my favorite show of all times. And they canceled it. And I was so upset. They did, if I'm not mistaken, they did end it well. But I really wish they bring it back. Like, if I'm talking about Danny Phantom, I wish they brought it back to a point where it's like, maybe he's older now and he has kids, and now you get to know, you know, you get to see his kids grow. But oh man, Danny Phantom was such a good show. When I tell you how much I love Danny Phantom, like just like seeing his character development, seeing what he had to go through, him being a ghost and his parents being ghost hunters, and they're always arguing, and they, you know, such a great show, man. Like I really wish it wasn't like they had great villains. You know, like I said, he dealt with a lot of teenage stuff. You know, going to high school, figuring out how to control his problem, like his powers, how to deal with his powers. Actually, struggle with that stuff. Struggling with telling his parents if should he tell his parents that he's a ghost? Should he not do that? Constantly having his Vladimir, his mom's. I guess you could call him. I guess you could call him like a stalker. I guess he loved his mom, and but he never had her because he felt like Danny's dad ruined it, Jack Fenton, and having this whole grudge against his dad. But then he find out that then Vlad finds out that Danny's a ghost and he's the ghost kid, and then he comes. That's his arch nemesis, his arch rival, his arch enemy. And it's just like such a good show. Like I don't understand why they decided to cancel it. Like I said, like that show was phenomenal, and I would just like when they canceled, I was so upset. I'm just like, why would they cancel that show? And you can keep on going. There's a lot of shows that they canceled, and but the ones I mentioned, I don't get why they canceled it. Like I said, Batman Beyond was such a good show. Danny Phantom was a good show. Teen Titans was a good show. Young Justice was a good show. Another show that they canceled too is My Life as a Teenage Robot. I liked that show. I thought it was a pretty good show. And it just shows you that there were so many shows that they canceled that were good that you just didn't understand why. Or they gave you the reason why, but you're just like, at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you know, but like I said, I really do wish that one show I really wish they did bring back is Danny Phantom. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing another Danny Phantom show and him being an adult. I'm fine with that. Just bring Danny Phantom back. Make him come back. Whether if you revamp it and decide to redo a 3D animation, hopefully that doesn't happen though, because 3D animation sometimes is not the best. But bring it back. Like I don't know why. Like I was so mad when I found out they canceled it. Like I said, you might say, "Oh well, they ended it." Well, I understand that they ended it at the end of the day, but if you also think about it like this, the only reason why they ended it was because they canceled it. You know, but like I said, if you want to bring back Danny Phantom, I'm fine with you bringing him back as an adult, and we get to see his kids. If he has kids, we get to see his kids, grow and figure out their powers. Maybe we get to still see him, show them how to, show them their powers, whatever it is. Just bring Danny Phantom back. But yeah, I was, that was crazy when I found out they canceled it. And like I said, these are just some of the shows that they did cancel. There's a lot of shows out there that they canceled that I didn't mention because some of them were like Gargoyles was another one, which is it was a pretty okay show, and they're probably they always do this where they cancel cartoon shows. It's not even cartoon shows, even TV shows. Netflix is actually bad with that, where they cancel like a lot of TV shows. So like, and sometimes they cancel good TV shows. So it's not only cartoon shows. There's just a lot of shows that always gets canceled. But I wanted to talk about cartoon shows because I just like cartoons. I give myself, oh, well, you're old enough. Why you watch cartoons? At the end of the day, I don't care. I will still watch cartoons. It doesn't matter if it's new or old. I always enjoy watching cartoons. And that's just how I am. But before we do head out and before we do leave, I know this might be a short episode. I'm not feeling too good. I wanted to at least give you an episode, not be too long. But like I said, we are trying new things out. Like I said, I did update the website. Hopefully, you guys like it. And like I said, if you do see between the website and through the laptop or through the mobile, like I said, I prefer looking at it at the laptop, at the desktop. But at the end of the day, it's whatever. We're gonna try to use the website more to just give you more updates. Merch, I know I tell you that I want to do merch. I'm not 100% sure when we will start doing that. I'm really hoping that it'll be pretty soon. I'm just still thinking of ideas of what can we do to like put in a shirt or something like that. Hopefully I could like reveal that sooner than later. And what else? Like I said, we're gonna try to make more content for you guys, whether if it's making little reels about maybe it could be reels about why. Okay, I'll give you a good example. It could be a reel about how come PB changed to a panda now and not a polar bear. We could do something like that. Little content. Well, I'm trying to figure that stuff out. But I hope everything's going well. And before I do end the show, like we always say, we don't know you, but we love you, and there's a God above that does. I'm Cashew. Peace out, PB Cashewville.